she's kind of weird. What? Yeah, wait, is she like flirting with the chair? Welcome, Modern Talkers. This is Modern Talk now? Modern Talk. Hi. This is, I don't know if you remember the one I just edited, the one with this. I don't know how much you could see of it, but it's a reference to The Karate Kid from 1984. And if you get it, you get it.
Must be take a worm for a walk week.
Best line in cinema history. But they were doing mad work on this place. And it's so creaky, and of course the plane flies over just now. I was hoping the sound would be a little bit better in here, but so creaky, bro. Holy crap. Well, at least it looks a little bit better. Sorry for the audio-only listeners. You know, you could look it up just to know how it feels differently now, because we moved up. We got this fake brick here. It's really great. It's just wallpaper, and I don't know if you could see this far over, but it's not lined up, which is cool. And I helped put it up, but it's cheap wallpaper, so it's not our fault putting it up weird. It's actually the wallpaper isn't printed right, so that's great news. But you won't notice it unless I tell you. So I decided to tell you to, because I keep it raw and real, So that's cool. Yeah, man. This feels like way more professional. This is a really comfortable chair, although I'm leaning forward a lot. And I feel like I have to push back with them. I think that moves the camera. So I'm just getting used to it. We're getting used to it together. I got this aloe vera water, because we moved up. I wanted to, if you haven't had aloe vera water, this particular Nature's Nectar is really good. It has little chunks in it, and it makes it kind of more fun, and it's just like sweet water. So, and they have different flavors too. They have like watermelon in the summer, banging. But I just want to let you guys know that you're looking at the big pickler of the week. So if you don't know what that is, you should. But it's it's just what they call at the like pickleball league that I'm in. If you have the most points, you get a point after every win. In like when we do the tournament every week, 2 times a week. But the other one's on Sunday, so I usually don't go to that one because football. So I won all 4 games that I played, and so I tied with someone else to be the big pickler of the week, which is such a dumb name, but so is pickleball. So I just wanted to brag about that, and it feels really good. And it's not because just of me, because I had really good. That's the thing. Like, you could only do so much, but you have to have a good partner, because you can just head it to them every time. So I got lucky with good partners, and also I almost joined a gym. I got I work at the I don't know if we talked about this. I work at a live show, and in the background. And when I was doing that, they had someone on who is from a gym, and it's called Next Level Mobility. And it's cool because they focus on like being mobile and like agile and flexible, and also what is that called? Not restoration, but like workouts, recovery, restoration, and they have equipment, and they said they have all the same stuff that the Kansas City Chiefs have, which is crazy if that's true. They toured me around there because they sold me in the pitch or whatever through the show that I work on, and I was like, I definitely could be in the gym. Imagine how much of a beast I would be if I went to the gym actually, and so I I started. You do like a consultation, and then after the consultation, they try to sell you on it, obviously. But I have no money, so I have money, but not enough, and I can't afford to pay $30 a month for a gym membership. And then on top of that, they want to sell you what's it called, personal training stuff, which that's what you're supposed to do as a gym, but I can't do that. So they're like, we'll tell you what, do a 7-day free trial, come in when you can, and if you still like it, then we could talk numbies. And then I forgot that the day after that, I left for 4 days on a vacation thing. So I just wasted almost the whole free trial because I was away. So that brings me to the next thing, which is, well, I just wanted to say that's hilarious that I forgot that I was leaving for more than half of the free trial. So they're like, we gave him this free trial and he didn't even come in. It's also 15 minutes out of the way, which means 30 minutes out of your day just getting there and back. Not to mention, the hour long. And they said like 30 minutes is good, but then it's like literally half the time I'm traveling there. Is it worth it? I want to do a whole hour, but then whatever, who cares? So I went on vacation like a week before that happened. I was over my Myrtle parents' house. They were talking about getting a cabin in the woods for like the long weekend, and it was just like so sprung out of nowhere, it felt like, and it was just awesome. Like I don't know like where they got the confidence to just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do a cabin trip. Who's in a week's notice? Like that's awesome. That's how it should be, I think, because I'm doing the people from my college, like the major that I was in, we were all really close, and we still text sometimes and stuff, and we've always wanted to do like a reunion thing because we got robbed of like our graduation and stuff because of COVID and stuff. So we're like, we definitely have to get together again. Like this is ridiculous. And so I've been trying to head that, and no one can agree when it is, how much, where it is, when it is. We can't even get those two, let alone like the money thing, all that stuff. So I wanted to do like a quick one, like a quick turnaround, like, hey, let's do it here, and then we'll do it again in like a year or 6 months or whatever it is. So if you don't make this one, that's fine. Come to the next one. But I got overruled, and they're like, no, let's make it way far ahead. And this was like literally a year out. They're like, let's do spring break 2023, and it was like spring of 2022. So I was like, okay. And they're like, that way, we could all like plan ahead, and no one has an excuse for not coming. And then the main person that said that, when I texted them like, hey, just want to remind everyone it's getting to that time to plan for this, so we're doing it this time like we agreed a year ago. And then the main person that said, hey, we should do it far ahead so we could plan ahead, said, oops, something got moved around, I can't make it that weekend. So obviously I was right. Now, does it feel good? No, because we still don't get to see each other. So, nobody wins. And I don't want to be the one to be like, "I told you so," and like, well, what are we gonna do now? Should we do a quick turnaround one, or should we do another year out one? Like, I was doing that the whole time, and I don't want to, and I'm salty about it clearly, so I don't want to ruin everyone's vibes by being salty about it. So then, because then it would never happen, and no one would want to come with me, and they'll do it without me. Anyway, this weekend, so it was my whole like extended Myrtle family. It was me, my parents, so Ray and Charlene, and then I'm so bad with names, so like I would totally zone out at this part. But if people are good with that stuff, then Ray and Charlene's biological daughter, and her husband, that's Kristen and Billy, and then their 3 kids. One is like 6 weeks old, Lucas. One is almost 2, that's Noah, and then the third one is Jaden, and she's 6. So I can't do the math, but that was a lot of people in a cabin, and I like panicked for a second because I was like, did I forget someone? I don't think I did. So then that was really cool. Kristen and Billy, my sister, Myrtle sister, and Myrtle brother-in-law. I'm sorry, bro. Like I should feel like I should just cut all this out, but so when we first got there, we were, checking it out, and the stairs to go downstairs were really short and steep, and they were carpeted, but it was like slick carpeting, and so like within an hour of being there, Ray, my Myrtle dad, fell down the stairs. And he's fine, but like that was awesome that something so funny happened at the beginning of the trip, so that we could call that back the rest of the trip, and I'm sure he loved it too. Which is funny because when my real dad, biological dad or whatever you want to call him, came to Myrtle, he fell down the stairs and he broke everything. So that wasn't as funny. He broke his ankle and his shin bone. I forget what that's called. Tibia, fibia, libia. Anyway, so that was funny that they both fell. But it's the best when something that funny happens at the beginning of a trip, and then you could just keep rolling on that joke the whole trip. So the first day, we got there at night, and then the first morning, we were there, me and Billy, my Myrtle brother-in-law, and his son Noah, who's 2. We went to go get wood and sticks in the wood for a fire that we were gonna do at night, and it made me feel like a man. Like it was pretty cool. That's where we came from or whatever, like cavemen. So I have to imagine that's part of it. And I try not to like identify with my false self too much and all that stuff, but it was fun to play that role of like man. And like must provide heat for woman and child, and that felt good. And then we got all the stuff together, and then Billy went to his car, and he grabbed the blowtorch and he said, "Time to cheat." It was like a smaller one, but it definitely like blew fire, and so he was like blowing it, and he did it for like 2 minutes, like probably a minute, and then it would burn like for a second, and then it would just like die out. We think it was too wet or something. And then my Myrtle mom, a 50-year-old woman, she got some sticks and then she made a fire and it lasted like twice as long, which was like 2 seconds. But she definitely manned us in that capacity. So that was funny. Emasculating. I brought my desktop in like a bin because I don't think there's any easy way to transport a desktop, but especially to a cabin. And I didn't know what the circumstances would be, and I didn't know how much room they had in their car because we went together. So it's like really clunky and gross because I have all the contents, like the actual computer and then the keyboard, and what else do I have? The extension cord and that stuff all in the bin, but the actual monitor doesn't fit, obviously. Well, not obviously, but it's like a smaller bin. It's like more deep than wide, and so I just wanted you to know that I'm dedicated to you guys because I would bring a desktop computer all the way into the woods and work on stuff, and I did, and I worked on this one, the Karate Kid one, the Tommy's Take Karate Kid, whatever, the perfect movie of the 80s. So good. I think that one's so good, and I hope you guys did too. I put it out, but I didn't promote it yet because I've been so busy, and technical issues because of bringing the computer everywhere, and it's like frazzled or something because I keep shutting it down and bringing it somewhere else and connecting to a different Wi-Fi. I don't know. This is boring. The point of that story is I'm dedicated to you guys, and I woke up at 6 every morning, and not every morning, almost every morning, and worked on it until everyone was up, and then I'd play with the kids and do that stuff. So do like the real actual vacation-y stuff. But it was so nice of them to let me, like, to invite me, because it was literally just their family and me, and that's just so sweet that they would like think to invite me. I like it wouldn't even dawn on me to invite me, and I wouldn't have, like, if I were them, and if I was me, which I am, thankfully, I would never be like, oh, they didn't invite me to their family vacation in the woods. Like, that would never, thankfully I don't have that kind of ego, whatever. But I stayed in, there's like a loft. So it was like the main room where you walk in, had the kitchen and like a little living room without a TV, psychotic. But I know it's a cabin in your woods and you should be outside and, whatever, but it was also 30 degrees because it's January. So, have a TV in every room. That is all. And yeah, so then up top was just a loosely built floor where I stayed. It was really, really cute, but it had like 4 feet, probably more than that, probably 6 feet in width that I could walk without having to hit my head or duck. But who cares? And then it didn't have a desk up there because why would it? So I had to steal a desk from my Myrtle parents' room, and I had to walk it up the steps. And it was like a desk like 4 feet wide, and like this deep, like not very deep, but it could extend, and so it had more wood inside of it, so it was like twice as heavy that it needed to be. So that made it funny, but it was a nice setup actually, and that was really fun to have like a workstation in my room, but you could hear everything from my room to the whole first floor, because, like I said, it was like not flimsy built, like it was felt sturdy, but it was literally just planks of wood across and no like base, so you could see below below you, and so like if they wanted to look up my skirt while I was up there, they could have probably. Um, and you know, that was funny, but I don't know why I was so tickled by that joke. So stupid. I'm like just going off my head. I made these notes this morning, but I just, since it's fresh in my head, I don't have to look down as much, but now I'm afraid that I'm forgetting something. So me and the 2-year-old Noah, we're really tight. He is so cute. He gets excited when he sees me, and it happened like way sooner than I thought it would, because like I like to let the kids come to me because like I don't want to. They're not interested in like people smothering them, like everybody. But they're so used to it because like every aunt ever is just like, oh hi, like how's school going? Like a good, I don't know, you can't just talk about like normal adult stuff. Like that's so stupid. You have to like play with them, and that's how you build a relationship. So I let them come to me, and for whatever reason Noah took to me, and I think he's just that kind of kid. He's just like loves everyone immediately for some reason. And so he did that to me too, and that was so nice. And even when he was like 1.5 or something, he would maybe not that young, but I would come over and he would be there at my Myrtle parents' house, and then eventually he recognized me like way faster than I would think, and he got excited to see me and would like smile real big at me, and I didn't know why, but it's really cute. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this yet or whatever, but I love him, and because he can't say it back, so he's so cute. And but his sister Jaden, who's 6, she never really cared for me. She could like take me or leave me. For some reason, like she's older and she's a girl, so I think she was just like, people. I think Noah liked me so much because I was a guy, and she didn't like me as much because you want to stay with your tribe, your people. So yeah, she never really like was interested in me, which was fine. I was happy with Noah, and but like I wouldn't like shun her or anything, but I didn't want to like force her to be friends with me. And so finally this trip she warmed up to me, and I don't know why. I think she's a shy person in general. Like she barely even looked at me like the first like, it felt like year or something that we like met or whatever. And then we were searching for treasure together in the woods. And what else were we doing? It was really cute. She was like making connections to stuff, and it was like actually cool. And like we found this like old tiki torch thing, and she's like, it has 9 prongs, no 8 prongs, because one of the prongs is gone. And then she would connect 8 to something else, and then we found a blue ball under a shed, and she's like, they're both like circular and blue ball in fall. It's fall or something, and it's not really fall. It's like winter, I guess now. But she would just like do stuff like that, and then that would lead us to somewhere else, and we'd go somewhere else, and then find something else and try to connect it back, and like, oh, we don't know what that means yet, but we'll write that down. And she had a little clipboard. Dude, it's cute. And she would write down stuff and then circle like certain letters and make new words with those letters that she circled, which I think is so impressive for a 6-year-old. Like, I would be sweating trying to do that on the fly if I did that right now. But it was really fun and cool and interesting and cute. So it was nice that she finally warmed up to me, and I don't know why it took so long, but I'm glad it happened. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then they had a hot tub there, and that was cool because it was cold out. You know, it's fun to do hot tubs when it's cold, and obviously, like, I know people do it when it's hot out too, but that's only fun if you have a pool also to like offset each other. Be like, oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's so warm. That's fun, but yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna probably, do different things. There's a couple options in here that I could try out. But I'm excited. This is cool, and I'm not done with my other thing. But it just maybe something made me think of this. We went into town. There's a little like stretch of street that has shops on it, and it's like an old mountain town or whatever. Like they had mining back in the day and stuff. And it's right by a little creek, a big creek, I would say. Like, it's not a river, but definitely bigger than like a stream, you know? Anyway, stupid, who cares? But we were like hanging out there, and that was fun. And just like looking at the water, and I was thinking about this, and I didn't write this part down, but I know there's like some sort of lesson in, and I'm sure this is like trite among, pastors or something, but like, it's so interesting how water like takes the path of least resistance, but it still gets the job done. Like, it still gets through. I don't know. There's something there, but that's something that like was revealed to me or whatever through nature, and I don't know. Yeah, it's not trying to go over rocks. It's going around rocks. Like, it doesn't discriminate. I don't know. There's something there. Maybe I'll think about it next week or something. But I don't know, I find that really interesting and beautiful, and like how nature talks to us through it just being. Anyway, so I used, for some reason, I thought it'd be really fun to go across the whole stream without touching, obviously getting in the water, just using rocks to like hop over it, like a little frog. And so I tried that, and I could feel myself getting scared thinking about it too much. Like, if I just misstep, or if it's slipperier than I think it is, or if I get too scared that I'm like high up kind of, that I'll freak out and fall. And I didn't let myself do that. Like, I think you could freak yourself out really easily with stuff, but if you just focus on the stone in front of you, and not think about how, like, oh, if I misstep here, I'm gonna twist my ankle, and my leg's gonna be wet all day or whatever. It's probably only up to my knees or something, but still, like, that might suck. And if I did like twist my ankle, I probably would fall all the way in with my phone and my wallet. So that was really stupid that I even did that. And not that I regret it, but like, now I'm worried that next time I'm in that situation, I'm like, oh, I got this because I did it last time. And then I'll be like 4 years older so I'll be 29, and I might not be as spry and sexy as I am now, which probably won't be the case. Um, uh, so, so that's what I figured out, that just focus on what you need to get, what you need to do to get the job done, and don't think about the bad stuff. Just kind of take it one step at a time, and kind of have faith that you'll get there, and I did. So that's cool. Believe in yourself is basically what I'm saying, because you could do it if you really put your mind to it, which is, annoying and trite, but that is actually real. We explored these little shops on that little strip there, after I jumped over the rocks and stuff. And what else? And there was this one shop that we went in that was so weird, because it had pretty heavy innuendos with their products. Like, they had a bunch of sauces, and one was called, like, I can't remember exactly, but it was like, it said cock in it for sure. It was like spicy cock sauce or something, like hilarious. And we had freaking 6-year-old and 2-year-old with us. The 2-year-old wouldn't get it, but 6-year-old might, And then another one was like morning wood coffee. And then literally like feet away would be a painting of Jesus being born, unironically, like totally like family friendly stuff. And like they didn't know their demographic. They just like had like everything on every spectrum. And one thing they had was a bunch of muscly men with fairy wings on them. I don't know what that was about, but one, Kristen said one of them looked like me, which was hilarious. And then, like, she was kidding, obviously, but he had like a beard and long hair. Oh, dude, did I talk about this? No. So when I was actually crowned the big pickler, the girl who ran it was looking at her notes or whatever, and she couldn't remember my name. And right before she announced that I was a big pickler, she goes, "It's Deb and tall skinny dude Tommy." And I was like, whoa, like there was like double compliments that I won the big pickler and also tall and skinny. And I don't consider myself skinny, but that was cool that someone else did. And what was the other part? Oh, that everyone defines me by my hair, which is fair. Like, I understand, like, it's the most unique thing about me probably that you can see right away. So it makes sense, but it was cool to be defined by something other than the thing that I'm always defined by, and something that I don't even consider myself. So it was like 3 compliments in one, even though she didn't remember my name, which is funny. But I never take those things personally. I'm so bad with names, so I don't care that she didn't know or remember my name. Anyway, then we got lunch, and we walked by a restaurant, and the burger smelled so good, and we're like, we just gotta go here. So it said they were like the top 10 burger in North Carolina. I usually don't get burgers unless I know they're good, because I'm picky about burgers, and so I got the burger, and it was called the Big Bang Boom Burger. So it had bang bangs or boom boom sauce or whatever. I needed more. That was my only note about it. And then it had fried pickles and fried onions. What is that called? No, onion rings. It is fried onions, but they're called onion rings. So we were sitting there, and we noticed a girl in the corner by herself, and like I noticed it like slightly, you know, just how you notice people, and then I was like, oh, she like, you know, you don't see a girl by herself a lot, so I was like, that's weird. Like the other person must be in the bathroom or something. And then we were doing our thing, whatever. And then the guy, Billy, my Myrtle brother-in-law, was like, hey, do you see that girl alone over there? I was like, yeah, is she alone for real? And he's like, yeah, maybe we should go talk to her, like, as a joke. And I was like, and then we're like, is she kind of like weird? Because I eat alone all the time, so I don't consider that weird. But a girl doing it is weirder because of safety reasons, you know? Like a guy like me, which I wouldn't do this, but a guy, so who's not like me, obviously, could come up and like, you know, try to hit on her. So that's annoying, even if it's not a safety thing. And then obviously he could be a freak like me. No, it was just that song reference. A freak like me, like me. Wow, that was really. I'm probably gonna cut that out. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna cut that out. But that was more vulnerable than I would like to be on here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so a girl, you never see a girl alone in public, almost ever, I feel like if they're going to or from somewhere, like yeah, but like sitting at a restaurant, no. So we're like kind of looking at her like she's kind of weird. What? And and I was like, yeah, wait, is she like flirting with the chair? And then, because she was like looking at the chair, like, and we like, what the heck? And then we realized she put her phone on the chair next to her and was taking a video or live streaming or something. And it was just like so weird. And then she was taking like actual pictures. And like, that's so annoying. Just like just look at the view. Don't just record the view, you know? I was thinking like, how annoying is this girl on TikTok? Like she must be so annoying. And she probably has so many followers. So we figured she must be here on vacation or something, you know, for one day, like just traveling. And it was just really, really funny. And then I went to the bathroom, and then she got up to go to the bathroom, and it was only two like bathrooms, and they were both family ones, so they just had a toilet in each one, and so I was in there and I was washing my hands, and then someone knocked, and I was like, "Hello," like I never know what to say, but I just, you know, said something to let them know that someone's in here. But obviously someone's in there because it's locked, right? So why would you even knock? Like, just try it. If the door's closed, most likely, you know, someone's in there. And then when I got out, I saw it was her. I was like, oh, that's funny. And I was like, hi. And because I just feel like you have to acknowledge people when they're right in front of you, especially when they're like waiting for you. I don't know. So then I told them like, oh, she's stalking you, like she must be interested. And then when we left, we were walking on the street, that like one strip, and then she walks past, and we're like, dang, she's really stalking you, and like as a joke, obviously. And then we went on a hike to Lake or not Mount Chimney or something, and which is a stupid name because it should be a volcano. Like that'd be cool. That'd be cute or cool volcano name like Mount Chimney, but that doesn't make sense otherwise if it's just a mountain. So we went and hiked that, and then my Myrtle sister, well, my only sister, uh, went to or stayed in the car while we went hiking, some of us, and because she wanted to be with the kids, the 6-week-old and stuff, and then she texted us when we were at the top like, oh my gosh, the stalker girl just walked by again. So she's really stalking you. So it was funny that we saw her 3 times. And like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's so weird because my sister and Myrtle brother-in-law is, they're like almost my same age. I think Kristen's 6 months older than me, and then Billy's like a year older than me. But they feel so much older than me. Not the way they look, or really act, I guess, but like just the fact that they have 4 kids. The one is from a different marriage, so he didn't come on this trip. He was with his mom, but so it was like really it's just really weird how different our lives are, even though we're the same age almost. And I don't know. Like they like to say that we're the same age, but like when they say that, I'm like, yeah. Like I know, like I feel like I'm 19 more than I am 25, and that's probably not good or whatever. But like traditionally, they're so much further along in life, and that's just like more apparent to me as I'm in this transition point of I might move. Oh yeah, I didn't move. I know I teased like that I'm gonna move soon, but this is still Myrtle, and anyway, so yeah, I'm in this transition point, wondering what's next, and they already know like everything like that's going on. Like they have their person, they have their jobs, you know, they have a house, they don't have student debt. He's in the military, or he retired or whatever, so he's got like a real job now, and then she's a stay-at-home mom, so she knows like everything. You know, it's not going to be easy. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because that's a hard thing, and he's like in kind of construction kind of thingies, so that's not easy work, but well, he's the boss, so it's a little bit easier physically. Anyway, what I'm saying is they know their future. Like they know the trajectory. Our kids are going to get older, and then, you know, then they're going to leave, and we're going to be like 40, probably less than that. Wait. So if one was just born now, they're 20, yeah, 45 or something. And like, that's not even that old really. And they'll be empty nesters, and they'll be like young and could do whatever they want. And I don't even know if I'll have a wife, you know? That's crazy, how different our lives are. But we're the same age. Like does not compute to me. I had this revelation with kickball that I think this happened last week. I don't know if I talked about it last week, but I was always like nervous and scared going to kickball. And then I was like, why am I nervous? I'm the best player on the field, so why am I nervous? And I think it was because I didn't want to make a mistake or something, but that makes you make mistakes. Like that's the thing with believing in yourself and taking one rock at a time. Like, don't be afraid, just focus on what you can control. And that's what I did these last two weeks, and I played like really good in my opinion. And I'm not even like, I'm an okay kicker, but I think because I kick it, like I don't kick it that far, and it's really hard to kick it far in general because it's a kickball. But when I do kick it, I kick it hard usually. So it's hard to catch it. And even if I do catch it, I run so fast that it either makes them panic or I'm fast enough where they finally do get it. I make it the first, at least. And then I force them to make mistakes, and then I keep running, and I capitalize on that, and then score points. So, like, if you are scared about something, like, think about why you're scared and see if that's a good reason to be scared, because sometimes you're scared and you don't even know why. And then it's not even helpful to be scared. Like, it's just a natural reaction or whatever. But if you think it through, I don't know, maybe this is a specific sense for me, but yeah, I don't think it's worth it to be scared in a lot of situations. And if you are scared, it might just be because of the unknown. But why would you be scared of the unknown? You don't even know what to be scared of. So just one rock at a time it. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say about that. There was more like that happened fun last night, but nothing really interesting, I don't think. To you guys, to me, I could talk about it all day, dude. Why am I so interested in kickball? There's like this phenomenon in kickball that like everyone bunts it, which is so lame, dude. I never bunted it, and I never will bunt it. It's like you have a better chance if it stays in bounds. You have a better chance of making it. But if you get 2 foul balls, then you're out. That's just how it works. And it's so hard to harness a bunt because that's the shortest amount of field that you have is right at the beginning by the base. So it's really easy for it to go out of bounds and foul. So like more often than not, you're out because you missed 2 in a row. So anyway, and then, but if you kick it, at least you force them to make a play and it's in bounds. So I finally told this one guy who's new, and he just always bunts it, and it's either like right to a person or foul twice. So you're out. And so he's not getting on base, and I was like, bro, you have a leg, like let it loose, like kick it. Yeah, at least make them make a play. And he's like, yeah, you're right, man. I just wanted to get on base for you guys, but like, I guess you're right. I should just try that. So next time I'm on. And so I said that at the end of the second game. So hopefully he believes in himself and can do it. And I think he can. He's like athletic and tall and stuff. So you could, find something in there if you weren't. You do it. I finally started the process of deleting pictures of my ex, which feels like way too late, and I guess it is. I just hate doing that. Not only because you're literally erasing memories, but it's also takes a long time, and it's emotionally taxing, and so it takes forever. And so just pictures on my camera roll is over 1,000. It was like 1,010 or something. Yeah, because it was 1010, I remember. Not flimsying up the numbers. So And now I'm going through Snapchat, which is like a billion pictures, and that's the more important one because it reminds you literally every day of what happened in the past. So I got to get rid of those. Like, you know, finally time to move on and stuff. And like, I have moved on a lot, and now like that whole relationship feels like so long ago, which is crazy. How like just time keeps rolling on. I think that's probably a song, definitely. But but it really feels good. Like it feels good that I won't have that constant reminder anymore. And it wasn't constant, but I won't have that like thing where it like happens to pop up, and then you're forced to think about it, and it's not helpful to think about. It's just like sad, and I think I just need more time to let that be a happy memory again. But I need that space, I think, to fully put it behind me, and then once I put it fully behind me, I could like appreciate it more. But that sucks because you're like erasing good memories, even if you're not with that person anymore. Like that's what my movie's about and stuff. Like just because that person isn't in your life doesn't mean what happened with them wasn't beautiful and perfect in the moment. And you just gotta stop and realize what is important, and appreciate what you had, but not in the sad way, in the happy way. And so yeah, I think it's really good that I'm doing this, but it's just it takes so long, and like I said, it's emotionally taxing. But that's what it is, and that's all the notes I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, activate that algorithm. Comment. I would love more comments. Those are so fun when I do get those. Interact on social media, and I'm doing more blogs now, so check those out if you haven't. If you like blogs, and like some like points that I have in the podcast, I make into a blog if you like written stuff better to understand what I'm saying, because sometimes it feels like I'm just riffing, and I am definitely a lot, but sometimes I have like actual bullet points to stuff, like why I love Target, why you should love Target, whatever, why Target's better than Walmart for sure, what elements make a good coffee shop, and then why Karate Kid is a perfect movie from the 80s. Those are the big ones that I have so far that I'm doing. But if any of those interest you, or hopefully I'll have more by then. I know I'm doing Teen Wolf soon. It's coming out soon. I did it already. So that'll probably be a blog. It's funny, yeah, dude. I did like video essays on these movies, and like I hated doing that. Not hated, but like I definitely, yeah, I think I could say I hated doing that kind of stuff. Like if it was about a movie, like that's better. But like literal essays on topics, man, like I hated that stuff. And well, because you had to do a bibliography and like all that stuff. Like, can I just say what I think? And why does it have to be from another source or whatever? But now I'm doing it voluntarily, and it's not as many words as like actual. But that's what it should be. Like that's what makes me so mad about essays in college and high school is like, you need a word count. Like, can't I just say the big points and not fill it with a bunch of garbage words just to find just to get to a certain word count? Like, that's so stupid. And so I think my Karate Kid one in particular, because I just did that one, is good, but it doesn't have all the words. Like, it doesn't have more words than it needs. Like, that's why it's the perfect movie. I don't know how many words it is, maybe less than 500 for sure. And you don't need more than that. Like that's too much. Like, I said what I said, I condensed it from what I said in person, and then I put it in the on the podcast, and then I wrote it down, and that was it. That's all you need. Anyway, dude, that's it. Drink some aloe water. I love you guys, and I hope this made you think, and keep in touch.
Welcome, Modern Talk. This is Modern Talk. Modern Talk. Modern Talk. Modern Talk. I hope this made you think. Why? How?
This feels much more fresh. It doesn't weird, bro.